You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible.
Jeffrey Epstein, in jail, waiting for his sex trafficking trial, allegedly committed suicide over the weekend. There are a number of questions surrounding his death and what happens to his victims now. Let me start here. I don't know if people really get how improbable, borderline impossible it is for that to have gone down the way the story is saying it went down right now, at that kind of facility with that kind of prisoner.
Well, Barr is now saying that there was inadequate security in that time period. But you know what? When we look at the names of people who are mentioned, the man who lives in the house that enslaved people built, you know, also known as the White House, but the house that he was projecting when he said maybe Bill Clinton had something to do with this. The fact is that his name is in that file, too. Mm-hmm. So this does seem highly improbable. It also seems the height of chicanery. Mm-hmm. And my hope and prayer is that these many victims of this man will get justice, and that their justice will involve not only the indictment, if not conviction, of the woman who was his co-conspirator, who seemed to be his procurer, but also that they're able to get some kind of wholeness, some kind of, he's leaving this multi-billion-dollar estate. Well, heck, divide it up between these women and make sure that they're able to get the kind of help and some of the other things that they need. This, you know, when I Saturday morning, I thought that I was in the Twilight Zone or something. I said, this didn't happen.
Right.
You know, and then you have the conspiracy theorists and the others. But the most important thing, Monique, is that the former Secretary of Labor, who was the Attorney General in Florida at the time, cut this dude a deal that let him spend 13 months on work release in his own office, where there is evidence that he wasn't working, he was just chilling, but 13 months for multiple counts of sexual abuse. And that, blessedly, the feds did step in to do more, but this really speaks to the contempt for women, the contempt for women that our law has to say that it's okay. I just need to do one more thing, because I was hoping the panel could get in on our Mississippi girl.
We're trying to move on.
We're trying to move on. I went to school in Jackson County, Mississippi, a bazillion years ago after I got put out of a bunch of schools in San Francisco. I am so excited about her. That's all I want to say.
Yep.
I am just so excited about her. Mississippi truly needs her.
Yeah.
But back to Epstein, you know what? We need to find out who killed him, because he didn't kill himself.
Well, and here's the thing, Mustafa. People sometimes act like they understand privilege and white privilege and men with a whole bunch of $1 billion, and then sometimes conveniently they don't. In my mind, there's no reason, based on how he had skated through the system thus far, for him to not be cautiously optimistic about it the way it was going to go this time. The first suicide attempt didn't make any sense to me. This didn't make any sense to me. People are saying they were talking to him and he was in good spirits. What gives?
Yeah, because so he was with his attorneys until, I believe, 6 or 6:30 the night before he passed away.
Okay.
Let me be real clear. We probably don't have a lot of faith in Attorney General Barr to make sure that this process moves in a transparent way, and that the letter of the law is followed. But we'll see, okay? So let's deal with facts instead of conspiracy theory for the moment. So fact is that they were supposed to be checking in every 30 minutes.
Yep.
Some have said every 15 minutes. Fact is that he was one of the highest profile folks who was, you know, being held across the country. So you would think that if you have a high-profile individual that, let's say that a few weeks ago that he did try and commit suicide, that you would make sure that you're keeping an eye on this individual, because a number of other high-profile folks are connected with this person.
That's right.
Folks weren't going around and doing what they were supposed to. Cameras, you know, were not capturing things that were supposed to be going
Too
on.
many coincidences.
So we're not going to get into a scandal moment. Maybe Olivia Pope will come.
Oh, but we're walking through a scandal moment. I mean, it's just very obvious to me that there is more to this story. Avis, what do you think?
Yeah. something got handled. That's for sure.
Something did.
Because, as was mentioned, it's just too many coincidences here for this to really be a coincidence. Okay, when, as was mentioned, a specific camera that is supposed to have his cell in view is not working, but other cameras are. Right, when he is supposed to be checked on every few minutes, at least once or twice every 30 minutes, and that's not happening anymore. First of all, how in the world did he get off of suicide watch if he was just on suicide watch? I mean, how was that decision even made in the first place?
Yeah.
The bottom line is he had a lot of very, very powerful people that he was in a position to take down. And so this creates a situation where when you have all of these other coincidences and you at the same time have the reality that he has information on a number of very high profile people all the way up to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, it does make me wonder if what is being told to the public at this moment is the truth. And it also makes me very suspicious about whether or not we'll ever hear the truth, specifically coming from this Justice Department, when we know that Attorney General Barr is nothing more than President Trump's lackey.
Right. Well, I don't know if we're ever going to hear the end of this or the truth on this or anything that even circles around the truth on this. I know from my own experience in the government, at this point in one of these cases, I was knowing way more than what we're hearing right now. So, I guess we'll just have to keep everybody posted.
Somebody needs to post reward for the guard. See, somebody dropped a dime on somebody or moved something on somebody. I'm not doing conspiracy theory.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Oh, no, no.
So, you know.
But if that happened, they are so paid.
Right.
Yeah, but maybe somebody could offer a few more pennies.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody, I mean, you know, I don't know. These rich folks move their money around like that. I'm just saying, this is something where we do need to get to the bottom of, because it really does reek to the highest level in terms of corruption, in terms of malfeasance, in terms of any number of other things.
Well, and again, we try on this show to relate it to what matters for people in our community. What you need to understand is we are the most over-incarcerating country in the land. And when we have brothers who are in there, this is not what happens. I mean, this is not the way the treatment is. I wouldn't put it past him being able to convince somebody in there to let him get out quick. I don't know what the story is, but whatever it is, there had to be so many different failures along the way for this to happen. It's not just one night guard who didn't do his job.
But you know what, Monique, the other piece of this for me is there have been so many cases in the past decade at least, and certainly we were on Mississippi, a couple within the last 20 years in Mississippi, where brothers who were not in bad spirits, who were not suicidal, suddenly hung themselves with the shoelaces. Shoelaces can't hang you. And no investigations, no things like that. So the suicide piece is also one we want to look into.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten over Sandra Bland, and I still believe that there's something else going on there that, again, where are the cameras? Where are these kinds of things? So the suicide piece is a piece that really does talk to folks getting rid of folks.
Yeah.
Because they have too much to say. Sandra Bland had too much to say.
That's right.
She had too much to say. I'm just not convinced that young sister, on her way to a new job, even with a setback, killed herself. I'm not convinced of it.
Right, but even if she did, and it was because the circumstances were such that she was not protected, that still is the fault of law enforcement, who have an obligation, not just to keep people so that they can do their time, but to keep people safe in our prison system.
Yeah, and let's just not take the spotlight off of the fact that we've got 4 million folks who are part of sex trafficking, you know, and we've got 500,000 young kids under 18 years old who also go through that. So now that he's no longer the center of attention, let's still make sure that we keep the spotlight on folks who are being abused, and many of those are unfortunately women of color who are going through these situations.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Life Lux Jazz is the experience of a lifetime, delivering top-notch music in an upscale destination. The weekend-long event is held at the Omnia Day Club Los Cabos, which is nestled on the Sea of Cortez. Ooh, I'm going. In the celebrity playground of Los Cabos, Mexico. The Lux Jazz experience offers the ultimate getaway for discerning jazz aficionados by pairing an upscale international destination with luxury accommodations, fine haute cuisine, top-shelf libations, breathtaking golf, exhilarating spa health and wellness options, and much, much more, while showcasing some of the biggest names in entertainment. The second annual Lux Jazz experience continues to build upon its success and heritage with Jazzing Around Los Cabos, a celebrity expansion of accomplishing its goals of sharing all the finest the destination has to offer, including daytime excursions and mini concerts, including the Spirit of Jazz Gospel Brunch and Jazz Sunset Cruise. Confirmed guests are comedian actor Mark Curry with Gerald Albright, Alex Bugman, ooh, I can't say that one, Raul Mendon. Okay, they're spelling it out for me, but I'm still messing it up, y'all. Incognito, Pieces of a Dream, Kirk Whalum, Average White Band, Donnie McClurkin, Shalia, Roy Ayers, Tom Brown, Ronnie Laws, and Ernest Quarles. For more information, visit the website at lifeluxjazz.com. That's lifeluxjazz.com.
Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.